Hi Year 7, the title of today's lesson is How did Elizabeth I solve her problems? With two real key objectives here, to know some of the problems that she faced and to understand how successful she was at solving those problems. Bit of background. Elizabeth I, as a reminder, was the half-sister of Mary I, aka Bloody Mary, and she was also, and this is quite important, a Protestant. This is important because England back then was very divided on religious grounds. For a long time, over 1,000 years, England had been a Catholic country, but her father had broken with the traditional seat of Catholic power in Rome and established the Church of England. And there were a growing number of people in England and across Europe who were identifying as Protestants as opposed to Catholics. Okay, and this brought about quite a bit of conflict, so worth remembering that. But that wasn't the only problem she faced, and many of those problems were caused by kings and queens before her. So we really have to dive into tackling that question of how successful she was at dealing with her problems. Now, as you can see from this chart, there were 5 real key problems: her succession, the issue over what to do about Mary, Queen of Scots, how to stay popular, how to solve the problems that she faced with religion, and finally, how does she stop the Spanish from invading? Again, very key, and those last two are quite linked. Now, here's how you can tackle this task. There's really a couple of choices. You will see there is that I've attached this worksheet. You can use the information that you see here on this Word document to just fill in the boxes on the worksheet, or if you like, if it's much more simple for you, just copy out the problems and answer them one by one using the information in that Word document. Then you've got a choice of tasks to do. You can either do the red, orange, or green, depending on how far you feel able to stretch and challenge yourself. Obviously, I'd like as many of you to do the green task as possible, but as a bare minimum, all of you should be able to identify the problems that Elizabeth had just by looking at what you've done in the previous task. And then, again, to be honest, quite a lot of you should be able to make a judgment at whether she was successful or not and why. And what I'd really like to see a lot of you do is delve into that a bit further and provide that further analysis to really push yourselves. Okay? And then once you've done that, you can either self-assess your work, or if you are feeling a bit more proactive, maybe contact another member of the class and ask them to peer assess your work. Okay, if they've done the red task, you're really looking for them to have described some of the things Elizabeth did. That criteria gets a bit tougher as we go further, but if you are peer assessing or self-assessing, remember to give at least one what went well and one EBI, and that's it. Okay, so contact me if you have any questions. Best of luck with your work this today. Cheers, guys.